Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jose from Southern Life. On today's video, I'm going to answer a question that's been coming up quite a bit on our channel. And that question is, how do you afford all these travels? Well, that's an interesting question. And I think a lot of times the people who are asking this question are maybe jealous. I don't even know what would make me go to a YouTuber's channel and say, how can you afford these things? It's a very strange question to ask. Now, I'm a very open YouTuber, and I'll talk about things that other YouTubers won't. So I can understand that a lot of my subscribers feel comfortable asking that question. However, I suspect that that's only like 20% of the people that are asking me this question. And it seems like over the last few months on our channel, we've had that question come up quite a bit. In fact, I just got an email notification, and it's from somebody who was asking me, how much do you make? And the question is a little bit frustrating for me to answer. I told you guys when I was making 500 a month, 1,000 a month, 2,000 a month, how much I was making. A lot of YouTubers would have not done that. Now, I did tell you guys when I made more than a manager at Walmart, that conversation would no longer be relevant for us to have, that I would just create cool content and you guys would enjoy it. But the question's been more prevalent than ever on our channel. And to be honest, I feel a little uncomfortable even trying to answer that question. I don't even know why I should say how much I make to hundreds and thousands of people that are not interested, supporting. Like, for example, I have friends who've been supporting my channel since it was little. And I have no problem being like, hey bro, look how much I made this month. But that's with somebody that I feel deserves to know that. Why I would go and put on YouTube how much I make is just ridiculous. To give you an example, I've had people say, you stay at all these fancy hotels. I don't own the hotel. The guy who owns the hotel, that guy's making a crap load of money. I'm just there spending the money, you know? Or you go to all these big cities, the people that own those high-rise buildings, and believe me, somebody owns those buildings. Somebody owns those hotels. Somebody owns those restaurants. Somebody owns those car dealerships where I buy my cars. They are making money. I'm just spending a little bit of money, okay? What I don't understand about this question is, why is it important me spending money at a hotel? Why is that? I mean, somebody owns that hotel, you know? So somebody owns, when I go to New York City, somebody actually owns those guys. Somebody like actually physically somewhere has a title for those skyscrapers. They actually own that huge building. Like, that guy's got money. Like, why me, just a guy wearing a $5 t-shirt from, Walgreens? Why ask me that question is just perplexing. I just feel like I don't even know how to answer that question, because, for example, that's not a wrong question to ask under certain settings. When I go to the bank, the person behind the teller knows how much money I got in the bank. When I go do my taxes, the person that does my taxes knows how much I made during the year. But why does a random person on the internet feel like they have the right to ask me how much money I make, demand an answer, and then go to my channel and start to attack my loyal subscribers, telling them that by them participating in my channel, that I'm spending the money on cars? And it's like, somebody that has that much time on their hands and they're using it in that fashion, why would I tell them? I got some family that just came from Cuba, and they're starting off here in the United States. They have a lot of questions. They don't know how anything works. They don't understand how to pay a phone bill. Exactly how much money I make, and I also show them exactly where that money goes, which was kind of like, at first they're like, yay, and then they're like, oh. So it's like, under certain circumstances, yeah, you can tell somebody how much money you make, but I just don't understand why it's relevant. And like I told you guys, when the YouTube channel was in its infancy, I did say how much was coming in. But I also said, once we make more than a manager at Walmart, it's no longer relevant. I mean, I just don't understand really why I don't really get the point of me saying that. It's just and there's actually another YouTube channel who makes YouTube videos about how much YouTubers make. So I actually found this YouTube video about my channel, and they're predicting based off of what they believe how much money I make, and they were really, really off. I've had people say that they were off, like they said it was too much, and I've had people say it's too less. So that really isn't. Some people are very secretive about their finances. I'm really not. I don't really care, because to me it's insignificant. Like, if I have a truck, I have it. If I have a property, I have it. And sometimes dumb financials, like I have people that look at my YouTube channel and they're like, "Wow, you're spending money on stupid stuff like wheels and Starbucks and this and that," da, 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 da. And they're just drawing all these conclusions because their brain is about this size. Okay. I don't care if a Starbucks costs $20, because at the end of the day, if I put gas in my car and I eat and I get myself in the right mood, I can make thousands of dollars using this device called my brain. And sometimes, in order for my brain to function, I have to go to a hotel. I have to eat at an expensive restaurant because I'm putting myself in the mood. Okay, I'm getting myself in the groove. I've heard artists say that they need certain inspiration and they spend lots of money on something that I don't spend money on, and that's their inspiration to create. I've heard other creators just say different things about, I don't know, but at the end of the day, like when I view myself as a creator, if you're thinking, oh, you're spending $10 on a coffee at Starbucks, if you think that right there is a problem for you, that lets me know that you're, one, afraid of investing, afraid of enjoying. Dude, I'm not afraid of investing. I'm not afraid of enjoying. I'm not afraid of any of that. I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna live the way I want to live. Like, I'm not that person. There's people that I know people that are like, well, I'll make $2,000 a month. How can I live on $2,000 a month? I don't live like that. I say, okay, I need a car, I need a house, I need some food, I need some clothing, I need some travel, and I want to give my dad a gift every once in a while. Oh, I gotta make $7,000 a month. Oh, okay. How can I make $7,000 a month so that I can have the things I want, have the things I need, help the people I love? What we can do with that? Perhaps, what is on my head? Yeah, of course, not everybody has the ability to say, okay, I'm gonna put this much effort into life, and say, instead of, oh, I make $2,000 a month, how can I live on $2,000 a month? I don't believe in that system. I believe in the system, okay, I need a place to live, I need some food, I want to help my dad, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to travel. What can I do to get me to where I want to be? And a lot of people's minds just, like, that's why I say you're a small-minded person if you think that way. And if, hey, I don't pay your bills, I'm not criticizing you, but I believe that somebody who asks me, oh, you're spending $14 on a Starbucks cup every day, oh my God, bro, like, that's insignificant. There's people who own Starbucks. Like, to them, it's laughable. Like, you just get to a level in life where money no longer matters. And I just feel like when somebody used to say, how much money do you make? I used to be like, oh, I'm proud of myself, let me say how much I make. You know, because no, that doesn't matter. Like, now I'm at the point where there's a maturity behind it, where how much do I make? I laugh. I make you look stupid when you ask me that question. It's a stupid question to ask. That's a question you ask somebody at Walmart or Burger King, but it's not a question you ask to somebody who clearly is going somewhere else in life. Like, when you get pulled over by a police officer, do you ask them how much money they make? I mean, I don't need to ask them. I can just go on the internet and say, okay, Lee County Sheriff's Office is hiring. Their starting pay is $17 an hour. I don't even know. Like, it's just a dumb question to ask, and it's something so trivial to get caught up over. And I know deep inside there's a few things that bother me about that question. One of the things that bother me about that question is, why in particular ask me? Like, why is it okay to ask me this question, but not somebody else? Or why is it an issue for this individual that I, as a particular person, make this money? By the way, that is my logo. You should subscribe to my channel. I rarely ever tell people to subscribe, but I feel like a lot of people that are watching my videos are not subscribed. So why is it acceptable to ask me, or why do people feel it's okay to ask me what I make and not other people that? It seems like they have a complexity, some type of issue with me as an individual being able to, what they perceive, be able to do these things. I can go rent a Ferrari and say I own it, and nobody's going to question that it's mine. So I could definitely buy clothes that's expensive and return it the next day, and you wouldn't question that it's mine. I just don't understand with the world of social media and how far people go to portray a certain level of income, or to portray like they're living better than what they really are. I think the thing that really trips people up is that time, that I have time. Obviously, they see how much content I upload. I really feel personal about the question, because I feel like if I was somebody else that wouldn't be asking me this, I feel like because of particularly who I am, they want to ask that question, and that's something I'm tired of exploring. I'm tired of giving those people my time and my thought. I'm getting white hairs on my face, you know? I'm an adult. I'm getting white hairs on. I'm getting old, okay? Luckily, this ain't receding yet. I'm going to look ugly if this thing starts. Imagine me if this thing goes away right here. If I just lose this right here, imagine how ugly I'm going to look, okay? But I got white hairs on my face growing. I'm an adult, you know? And, you know, it's like that question doesn't really merit an answer. People who are smart, they're not looking at the car I drive. See, this is the type of question that stupid people ask. This is the type of question that people who will never get out of that 9-to-5 cycle ask. This is a question that people who are envious and picking up food stamps off the government ask. This isn't a question that somebody intellectual asks. Somebody who's intellectual, they're not going to look at what I'm wearing. They're not going to look at what I drive. They're going to look at how I articulate my words, what type of message I'm putting out, what type of energy I'm putting out, how eloquent I am when I speak. What are my priorities? Okay, so I've told you guys that my priorities right now are not renting forever. Eventually, we want to own real estate again, which I've owned in the past, and it doesn't mean anything to me. I've owned real estate. The priorities now, eventually, at some point, we want to have a place that's ours. Eventually, we've talked about our health. Like smart people, they're worried about those types of conversations. If you were to ask me as a complete stranger what my goals are, I would talk about real estate. I would talk about my health. I would talk about getting a better education. I would talk about being a better person, helping other people. And that is where, in fact, you know, if you're going to measure me, I don't want to be measured by if I have a gold chain or if I have a car with wheels on it. That's elementary and basic. I want you to look at me and say, okay, is Jose going to end up going to prison in the next 2 to 3 years? Is Jose hanging around people that are going to bring him down? Am I associating with people who are going to drag me down and possibly make lifestyle choices that are going to ruin my freedom, my family's relationship? You know, if I came on a live stream drunk one day and acted a complete fool, like some of the YouTubers that I watch, they do that. And they make a lot more money than I do. And they'll go on YouTube drunk and they'll act a complete fool. I want to be measured on the scale of intellectualness, because there's 2 ways to grade people. Now, you can grade people on a 9-to-5 scale, how much you get paid by the hour, or you can measure people over here. Now, let me tell you what's going on over here. Because over here are rims and gold chains and cars and posting up your vacation on social media. And over here is a whole different world. Over here is a guy that wants to start a new business. Over here is somebody that wants to buy $1 million property. I want to see what are they looking at? They're not looking at my car. They're not looking at my vacation in the Bahamas. They're looking at, is this person intellectual? Is this person trustworthy? Does this person have habits that are going to interfere with business transactions? Because on this hand over here, you have 9-to-5, and on over here you have commission, you have royalty, you have a whole different realm of things where now your value isn't how much can I squeeze out of you in an hour. Your value is, what can I contribute to this company? What can I contribute to a real estate transaction? What can I contribute to a business? The problem that I have with with answering this question with a physical number question of this much is that you're measuring me over here on this scale, but I'm not on that scale over here. I'm on this scale over here. And the type of things that happen on this scale over here are irrelevant to what's going on over here. To get paid on this scale, the only thing you have to do is show up and then continue to show up. The problem is that I'm already climbing this ladder over here. And by the time you're climbing this ladder over here, there's already things going on that this chain of reaction would have never taken place. You would have never got off of this ladder and climbed onto this ladder unless things were already in motion. You're not just going to jump off of this ladder and hop onto this one. That doesn't happen, okay? A chain of events has to unfold, and by the time this chain of events unfolds, it's no longer relevant to ask those questions anymore. Let's say you're having heart problems and you need to have a bypass. Well, the guy's got to be able to cut you up. You go into the hospital and they tell you, hey, you're lucky. This is the best heart surgeon in the country. This is the best heart surgeon in the country, and he's the one who's going to do your surgery, and he's never failed before at doing this surgery. Are you going to ask the nurse then, well, how much money does this doctor make a year? That's Florida. There's literally an ant crawling on my camera. I just didn't think it would walk in front of the lens. That's hilarious. I mean, I'm just going to say, if you're in the courtroom right now and the judge is going to decide, this ant's not going away, okay. You're in front of a judge right now and the judge is going to decide if you're going to go away for life or if you're innocent. You don't ask the judge, hey judge, by the way, before you send me away for the rest of my life, how much money do you make a year? Because I want to make sure that I'm judged by somebody who's, getting paid good money, or, I don't think you should. No, there's time and a place to ask that question, and a YouTuber that's on the come up, that's just not the place to make that question come. It's irrelevant. I got friends that own a barbershop. Now, they invest money into their barbershop, okay? I could ask him how much money he makes, and he could tell me, well, I make $10,000 a month, but I invest $3,000 a month, so I'll make $7,000 a month, right? Okay. Well, here's the problem with me asking him that question. See, he's a barber. He knows how much he can invest into that business. I got another friend, he owns a shiny store, okay? And I sit down with him and he tells me, hey, I invested $50,000 to bring food from New Jersey to Florida or whatever. And I made a $20,000 profit by bringing, this $50,000 investment. I can't go and spend I might have $50,000, but I can't go and spend it on buying a truckload of lobsters in New Jersey and bring it to Florida because I don't have a Chinese restaurant. I don't know what it takes to own a Chinese restaurant. I don't know who buys lobster. How much do you pay for the lobster? Is there a broker in the way? Do you just walk to the port and ask them if you want to buy? I don't know any of that. He's the one that's into that business. So if I tell you as a YouTuber, I make so much money, there's a whole nother picture behind that. See, I am a YouTuber. This guy's a doctor. To be a doctor, he had to go to schools. There's a lot of background context that goes into that number. So if I go right now and I ask my Chinese friend, hey, Chinese friend, how much money do you make this month? And he says $200,000. I can't just go and buy a truckload of shrimp and make it happen because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get a license to run a restaurant. I don't know any of it. I don't even know. I don't know, man. Because every day, YouTube is like a vast web. I have 3,000 videos on my channel. Now you go and you record 3,000 videos and see how much money you're going to spend doing that, especially all across America. Gas, hotels, tickets, broken down vehicles. You'll run into circumstances. Trust me, that money will just go away. Now, The difference is that I'll know how and how not to spend that money. You're going to have absolutely no idea. I know where to pinch pennies. I allow myself an income that is disposable, enjoyable, and I know that within this realm over here, I can do all this, and but that right there, like what I would call my salary, is to ensure that my assets, my future, and all these, my YouTube channel and all my other things that I got going on over here, that those things can continue to move smoothly. Because I've literally seen people bend over to grab a penny and drop their wallet in the process. You understand? There's places where you can penny pinch, and there's places where you can't penny pinch. At the end of the day, I've met people who make $170,000 a year, and they have nothing left because their lifestyle eats all of it up. Okay? Now, what I think a lot of you guys are missing the point of is that lifestyle and business expenses are kind of two separate things. So when I go and I travel, they're looking at it as a lifestyle. But this is why so many people fail at YouTube, is because they're looking at this whole thing as a lifestyle situation. And what they don't understand is, dude, I don't want to go to Louisiana. I don't want to go to Memphis. I mean, look at our last road trip. We went to Louisiana. We went to Texas. Went to Oklahoma, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee. I didn't want to go to Memphis. I wanted to go to Nashville. Did I go to Nashville? No. I didn't want to go to Houston. I wanted to go to San Antonio. Did I go to San Antonio? No. I didn't want to be in Oklahoma, period. I would much rather go to Puerto Rico, not Oklahoma, my man. So what I think a lot of you guys are getting tripped up about is that you're looking at some of my expenses as lifestyle expenses and not business expenses. Huge mistake. My 2500 pickup is not a lifestyle choice. That is a work truck. It's got a 6.0 engine. It can haul 10,000 pounds. And over the course of its lifetime, even though the truck is $30,000, it'll make me $300,000. And those $5,000 wheels that are on it, they've made me a lot of money, because that's all the comments from all the haters that are upset about what they're perceiving as a lifestyle change. But what they don't know is that I would rather spend $5,000 on wheels that I can write off and pay that in taxes. But you're not at the write things off level. You're at the, oh, I'm going to get a refund level at the end of the year. See, I'm not in the I get a refund at the end of the year type of person that you're looking at it as. I get a refund at the end of the year. I'm not on that level. I'm on the, okay, what the crap can I write off? Like last year. Last year, we had to pay like, whoop-ha! And I sat down with somebody and they were like, okay, Jose, I paid somebody. And they told me, okay, I would maybe invest like $50,000 into traveling for your YouTube channel. I would like buy a $50,000 car. I would do this, that, so that instead of paying taxes, I think instead of giving the government $30,000 to $40,000 at the end of the year, because remember, I sold a house in Alabama that I own outright. That's not a secret. I got $138,000 for the house cash. That's not a secret. Okay, so I think a lot of times people confuse net worth with income. So I'm walking on my net worth from 7 or 8 years ago. You see me and you're like, oh, this is his income. But see, you're simple-minded. You're not seeing my income. You're seeing my net worth that I've created over the years. When you see that $30,000 truck, I'm not paying monthly payments on that truck. I own it outright. I got a title, but that truck, my last truck, was with me for over 120,000 miles. Yes, I paid for it cash, but it made me a lot more. It might have tenfold what, I mean, if I paid $10,000 for the truck, it might have made me $100,000. I think a lot of the confusion with these people is that they're looking at what I have as income, and they're not looking at it as net worth. I just bought that 2020 Camry. See, that's income because I financed it. But here's the thing. I'm signed up now to lose $20,000 in interest because I paid $30,000 for it. with interest and insurance, and it's going to be like another $20,000. So I just signed up to lose $20,000 in interest and insurance and stuff by buying this car. And that's the way 90% of people in America work. Is if the car's worth $30,000, they're going to pay 60 or 50 or whatever. They're going to lose money on it because they're financing it. Okay, that's not the way I normally function. The way I normally function is you're looking at a $10,000 truck or a $20,000 truck. The truck's going to be with me for 6 years. It's going to make me $80,000. Okay, and that is where a lot of people fail to recognize the difference between income and net worth. When you have income, it goes away. When you have net worth that you've been year after year building upon, and that net worth, it can spread out into assets, it can spread out into education, or it can spread out into taking you off of this ladder we talked about and putting you onto this ladder where you're no longer getting paid by the hour, you're getting paid in a different way. May it be royalties, or may it be commissions, or may it be fees, okay? And that confusion between income and net worth might be tripping some people up. I don't really have this incredible source of income, but what I do try to do is that even if my income is maybe not here, but if it's here, that at least some of it turns into net worth, and some of that net worth continues to grow. And I think that's where we're really dealing with. There's no really a need to answer the question. The people that need to know where I'm at can obviously see it, success. And the people that are over here, they're just like, hey, how much money do you make? You're living like a millionaire. That truck's worth so much money. I'm not worried about you watching my YouTube channel, how much you're worth. You know what I'm worried about? I'm worried about me. I'm worried about going fishing, my family, my wife, my YouTube channel, my travels, my assets. I'm worried about me. So instead of worrying about me and how much I make, take time, like instead of spending an hour on the internet trying to see how much money he's got or what he's doing on, or going on Facebook and seeing your family members and friends and what vacation they went on, and well, it must have been $10,000 to go all the way over there with all those kids. There's 5 plane tickets. They must have been. Instead of worrying about what your family members and friends and your YouTube subscriptions, how much money they're making a year, why don't you worry about yourself? Get yourself off of this ladder, okay? But if you're devoting all your I have a lot of free time, and managing that free time is a crucial element to my success. But if I spend all my free time, like if I'm gonna go now and look at Nick Johnson's channel, or I'm gonna look at the Water Cooler Briggs and be like, well, why do they get so many subscribers and I don't? I ain't worried about them. I'm worried about me. So you at home watching, don't worry about how much I'm making. Enjoy the content. That's it. The answer really doesn't merit a reply. I told you guys when I make more money than a Walmart manager. In other words, once I get off of this ladder, once I'm over here, it doesn't matter. You know, I've even had people accuse me of illicit gains. Again, just a ridiculous claim. You can just see where I'm at the end of the year. It feels better. Like, if you're here, if you're on this ladder, it feels good to say, I make this much money. But when you're over here, it feels a lot better to just laugh and not give you an answer. When you're here, you're like, yeah, I'm a manager at Walmart. It feels good to do it when you're over here. But when you're over here, it just feels good to laugh and not give you an answer.